They don't care. They reach the point that they don't care about what we think anymore. They are just going on and doing the stuff that they want with us, using us as guinea pigs, and they don't care. That's why they don't even work their brains out to put up better excuse than this. Because they don't care if we believe or not, because they're gonna do anyway.
The government just banned free speech in Australia by Isaac Butterfield. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's watch it.
You are being watched. Right now, you're being watched. You're being watched by someone known as Big Brother. Not the TV show, but the original use of that term. And it comes from 1984,
Oh, God.
the book by George Orwell. In that dystopian world, Big Brother is a symbol of the totalitarian government
I read
that
the book.
seeks and achieves control of everything. In that novel, Big Brother doesn't just tell people what...
But you guys know how my brain works, right? At this point, I mean, I better really remember anything at all about the book I read.
they can and cannot do. Big Brother invades their thoughts and demands that they live a very certain way and stop thoughts at the very beginning. The whole concept of Big Brother is one that we can now relate to in the modern world. A loss of privacy, freedom, and truth. Right now, if you live in Australia, you know about this. Well, you should know about this, but this affects everyone all over the globe. You see, in Australia, lots of massive companies and governments test things before they roll it out throughout the world. And that's what they're doing
my God.
right
Oh my
now.
God.
Of course, the
I
concept
didn't
of
knew
Big
that.
Brother and totalitarian governments surveilling everybody is nothing new. The American...
Now I feel bad. I actually feel bad because a lot of VTubers, I'm sorry, not VTubers, YouTubers, a lot of VTubers that I actually use it to watch, they, that were Brazilian VTubers, they stop like creating content and move it to Australia. Some still do content there, but because the cost of living there is more expensive, and that they didn't have enough money for YouTube, so they had to actually work there with something else. But they moved from Brazil to Australia to have a better life, and for what it seems, it's a very terrible situation like here as well. So, oh God, I think like that they didn't chosen well the country they went for. That is real bad. That is real bad. I feel bad for them. And it's not that I feel like I know at least I probably know at least 10 YouTubers that actually stopped. I mean, I don't know if all of them stopped. Some stopped, some don't, and they moved to Australia to create content there. You know, to live there. I mean, to live there. Yeah. And now I see this, and now I question myself. I don't think it was a good choice to move to Australia. You know, yeah, pretty difficult, pretty hard stuff.
Kids have been dealing with these type of laws coming in to force since 2001 and the middle of September there. But in Australia, the way they're doing it here is more invasive, I think, than ever. And what I think is far worse is both sides of the political spectrum here in Australia, they don't have differing opinions on this. Both sides want to control exactly what you can and cannot say. And that's what they're doing
my
with the
God.
brand new
Looks
law
like
that
my
they're
country.
bringing in now. It's passed, it's too late. At the end of this year, though, it will become reality, and we'll just have to live with it and deal with it. Unfortunately, this hasn't just happened overnight. If you look at the last decade, that's how long this has been in the works, really. Go back to 2015, the mandatory data retention laws that were implemented. The Telecommunications Intercept and Access Amendment Act 2015 requires all telecommunication providers, all the phone companies, to retain metadata, including but not limited to who you contact, how you contact them, when and where from, for a period of 2 years. You're telling me that that can't be accessed by secret government organizations if they want to, if they really want to.
They already
Like
do
most of
that.
us have
What do
nothing
you
to
mean?
hide, but that's not the point. We saw more control with particular protests being illegal and some being legal. We saw that back in the early part of 2020. After that, around 2021, we started to see the Online Safety Act. That conversation started. Now, that act was a content regulation by the E-Safety Commissioner, one person who was in control of a government department. This person was not elected, by the way, who decided what you could and could not see on the internet. They were going to order removal or blocking of content with threats of fines that had anything to do with being harmful.
You know, people can say whatever they want about our Roach King, but always when I see these people, like, always when we see these robots, there is always a fucking Karen behind. He's so right. Asmago is so right on this, oh my god.
For bullying, extremism, or misinformation. Misinformation being anything that they
Little brothers we have around the world are made by Karens. Like Karens are the reason that all this bullshit that's happening. I'm starting to believe what he says actually.
don't agree with, of course. You must understand, and I'm sure you do, if you at least think for yourself, you know this, that the internet is this metaphysical way of us being able to express ourselves freely and think freely and be able to actually live the life that we wish to live. We don't have freedom of speech laws here in Australia like they do in America. It's not enshrined in the Constitution, no. It's implied. It basically says words along the lines of, oh, you know, let them say whatever they want. But in reality, they don't want that at all. They don't want that even slightly. Australia's Prime Minister right now, Anthony Albanese, and this is what this video is about, is implementing strict internet rules, new internet rules and laws. They're about to come into force, and ladies and gentlemen, according to this particular article from the Daily Mail, here's what you need to know. Now, usually I make fun of the Daily Mail, but this is actually not a terrible piece. It's the basic information, but people should know about it. Australians will soon need to prove their age when logging into the internet under sweeping reforms from the Albanese government, the Prime Minister of Australia. And this all comes from a good place. And I don't necessarily think people like Anthony Albanese, like the Prime Minister or his cabinet or the E-Safety Commissioner, I don't think these people are like, listen, we need to control what these people are saying out there. You know, we need to hunt them down. I don't necessarily think that. I just think it's this strange thing where a government or a big organization, once they have so much power and all these different sections are compartmentalized, they somehow and for some reason naturally try to take away things from the people below them. And I think that's what we're seeing here. Now, all of this started from a very good place, okay? In 2024, the Premier of South Australia introduced a state-based ban on social media access for the under 14s. And this was based off his wife reading Jonathan Haidt's book, The Anxious Generation. Now, it all makes sense, right? A lot of kids having to live these lives where they're constantly at this anxious, heightened state because they're dealing with shit online. They're spending too much time on their screens. They got this happening and this happening. They're at school, and then if they're getting bullied at home and all that shit. Okay, I get that. And it comes from a good place because young people in Australia, nearly 40% of them, 16 to 24, have a mental health disorder. And that data comes from 2020 to 2022. I wonder what happened in those years. That's up from 26% in 2007. Okay, you can blame social media for that, sure. There's definitely been a lot more social media since 2007, but also during 2020 to 2022, there was an illness everyone was terrified of. There was economic uncertainty. Everyone's worried about the cost of living crisis, climate anxiety. Everyone's tearing up.
Wait, let me understand this. I think he's going to write to oh my god, too fast for me. Like, nearly 4% of Australians aged 16 up to 24 had a mental health disorder, and anxiety, depression during 2020-22, up from 26% in 2007. Other reasons include COVID-19, economic uncertainty, climate anxiety, social media pressures, and unstable employment. Oh yeah, these are all good reasons. But always when I think about this stuff, it's always like, it always lead me to the same place over and over again. Oh my god, I always talk about this, but yeah, government's faults, big corpus faults. If you look at this, economic uncertainty, climate anxiety, social media pressures, and unstable employment, it's all related to them. Our problems always came from them. They are factories of creating problems to us. Like, really, for real. Nothing will convince me otherwise, no matter who. Oh my god, 40%? That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Had a mental health disorder during 2022, up from 26% in 2007. Oh my god.
Paintings in the Louvre because that will save the environment, apparently. Everyone's worried about unemployment. Everyone's worried about housing in Australia. All of these things are terrifying youngsters. And, geez, I sound like an old young people. But I will say that the vast majority of those things were enforced and reported upon by the mainstream media, not so much social media. So who should we be banning, really? Under new regulations passed last month, major tech companies like Google and Microsoft must verify the ages of logged-in users in a bid to restrict children access. This is nationwide, may I add.
Why? They want to do that? It's not to store information? No, of course. I mean, come on, they don't even need that to have our information, so this is not the concerning part. But what I find more interesting on this is like, they are doing all of this to restrict children to access harmful content, such as pornography on the internet. But they are already like restricting that from everyone, like Visa and MasterCard are doing. Like, oh my god, like why? I don't understand why. It's always the fucking same excuse. It's always the fucking excuse to protect people because they think everyone is dumb enough, is stupid enough to eat this shit. Like, oh, if it's for the children, so everything is valid. There is a lot of stupid people. Actually, there's a lot of stupid people that think like that. For real. And they always use this fucking excuse to do what they want, whatever they want with us. What the fuck? Up until when? What is going to be of our future? I don't know. It always, every single day, things get worse. Worse and worse worldwide. Society is crumbling down and I don't see any progress on it. I don't.
To harmful content such as the P word. Now, once again, sounds fine, all right? We don't want kids accessing that stuff like I did when I was 14. Looking up huge boobs. But it does mean that every one of these young people will need a government-issued ID to access the internet, which won't be a physical ID, it'll be this digital ID that was apparently this whole conspiracy theory for a number of years, but anyway, now it's a real thing. But it also means everyone will need some sort of digital ID to access the internet. In Texas right now, you can't access PH, the hub. Okay, that's an illegal website or it's a blocked website. Will that happen here as well? I don't know. I worry that Not that I worry about PH being blocked particularly, but I don't know if this is acceptable, ladies and gentlemen. Who are you as a government to say what I can and cannot look at on the internet? As long as it's legal, then what the fuck are you blocking people for? And even with young people, like if you're 16 and you're looking to pee, I think that's pretty normal, right? I'm sure I was at that age.
Because they want to fucking control what we think, what to consume, literally everything. They want to control us like puppets, 24/7, and the entire year of our entire lives, because they want us to be like very obedient slaves. That's all they want from us. That's all they want.
14? Okay, that's not that great, but I don't know. What do you... At 14, I'm sure everyone was jerking off. You got to jerk off over something. The big W catalogs or the Target catalogs, they only go so far, ladies and gentlemen. Every single person, though, will need to, at some point, provide information, be that a card, be that an ID, or be that their face, to prove that they're an old enough person to access the forbidden internet in Australia, which means we will all have our faces, our names, our addresses tied to what we visit online. From December 27th this year, these companies will be legally, this is Microsoft and Google and all those type of places, legally required to implement age assurance technology to verified users sign-in or face fines of up to $50 million per breach. To verify users' age, search engines could use methods such as credit card checks, awesome, photo ID, facial age estimation, digital ID, or parents vouching. Yeah, me son's old enough. Old enough to what? To party and watch PH? But what does this mean? Like, if that's happening on the 27th of December, does that mean on the 26th at 11 p.m, just before midnight, I have to jump on the old PH and look up Prolapse P for an hour and just enjoy the videos one last time? It's a joke, by the way. Or is it? Ooh. Prolapse P. It's out there. Search results for users under the age of 18 will be filtered for content relating to P, violence, eating disorders, and other harmful topics. And this is where the problem lies. What constitutes another harmful topic? Is it disagreeing with your government? Is it disagreeing with some policy from a government organization, maybe about
Yeah, exactly.
the wage
It's
gap,
exactly
perhaps.
like that.
That's what a lot of people still believe, that the wage gap is a very real thing, and women are paid differently based on their gender. If I disagree with that and I look up the facts around the wage gap not being real, or at least not being accurate, because it actually has more to do with women, what jobs they choose when they choose to have a baby, not getting superannuation, which is an Australian thing, yada yada yada. But you need to understand that there is a far deeper issue there that probably needs to be addressed at some point, but it's not just getting paid one way or the other. So if I'm a young person and I want to look at that, does that mean I can't access that because it's a harmful topic? What about if it's deemed medical misinformation or any type of misinformation? Am I no longer able to watch that, listen to that, read that? This is from our MIT School of Information Sciences, Professor
Of course, what do you
Lisa
expect?
Gibbons
What do you
said the
think?
code.
Where do you think that they are going to all of this problem to do that? It's exactly because of it. It's not for the children. It's not for the kids. I mean, most of the pedos are in the top of big corpos and governments. The pedos are there, and they are usually not normal people, you know? They are usually people with much power, usually. So they are the ones that couldn't care less for actual children, you know? They are the ones that always use them as excuse to fuck up our lives. So, I mean, oh my god.
Introduces a range of new rules that will affect all users and not just minors. On top of these measures, the code requires search engine providers to report to eSafety, the eSafety Commission.
Oh,
who's
is he
not
fucking
been
caring?
elected, someone who's just been employed by the government, just the ruler of the internet. This is from that professor. I have not seen anything like this anywhere in the world. As people learn about the implications of this, we will likely see people stepping up and saying, wait, why wasn't I told that this was going to happen? This law, the eSafety Commissioner, the want for the government to be able to control everything that we see online and the way we speak is deeply concerning, and it should worry you more than anything that we're facing right now. I know most people are focused on just making enough money to get by, and I get that, absolutely. But this is concerning. This is going to be an issue for all of us. There's so many different reasons that this is an issue, and let's list some of them. Number one, it's privacy concerns. So all of your information is going to be on a database. We see all of these big groups and organizations and corporations being hacked all the time. Qantas just got hacked recently. It seemed like a lot of people's private information was just spilled out onto the internet or the dark web somewhere. So there's the privacy, there's the data leaks concern, and then where does this go from here? Are they just going to creep forward like they have done with other bills and other laws in the past? They just slowly but surely creep forward until it's just normal. Like, are you going to have to flash your passport to the screen when you want to look up tranny P? Because I'll do it. Also, is this going to even help kids? Kids will still find a way around their shit. Of course they will. That's ridiculous. Like, It's
That will never
not
work
to
with
sound
kids.
like a
This
Gen
is
Z.
just
I'm
an
not a Gen Z,
excuse.
but it's so not why they're doing this. It's just so not. It's also fucking expensive. It is infringing on everyone's freedom of speech in this country. The technology's not ready, okay? This is not going to work. How does it stop? How do you police the entire internet?
don't
Are you going to
care.
invoice
They reached the point that they don't care about what we think anymore. They are just going on and doing the stuff that they want with us, using us as guinea pigs, and they don't care. That's why they don't even work their brains out to put up better excuse than this. Because they don't care if we believe or not, because they're gonna do anyway.
Elon for more fines? Like, it's not going to work, mate. It's going to slow down the growth of this country. It's going to threaten innovation in this country. It's going to harm creators. It's going to harm people who are entertainers. It's going to harm people who like watching shit. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to harm so many fucking people. I want to just focus just for a quick second on what I said about the creep, right? This creep, this bureaucratic creep that seems to happen with everything. Once you give a little bit of power, they just keep taking little tiny bits of power every single year until they've got all of this power. The E-Safety Commissioner, Julia Imam Grant, and her group, I think it started with, I wrote it down, how many people? There was 5 staff and a $10 million budget in 2017. Now, the budget is up to $50 million and she has 150 staff. 150 staff, and their boss in the government is a non-elected official. They are consistently taking more roles. And it's all under the guise of safety, I feel, but I also feel that it has this unintended purpose of controlling the public. They are all overseeing adult content. They're overseeing misinformation, cyber abuse. They're counter terrorism content, age verification, platform compliance. They're doing all of this stuff now. They are in charge of the fucking internet, all right? They are the sheriff. It is the online version, to go back to 1984, of the Ministry of Truth. They decide what is real and what is false, what is truth and what is fiction. And that is a concern. I don't care, and this lady was employed by the right-wing government, and now she's still employed by the left-wing government. For another 4 years, I think, that's her contract. This should worry everybody, okay? And I'm not saying that Julia is a bad person, but she's a lady in her, what, 40s, 50s?
Oh, come on, not that person, come on.
She's going to have a very different worldview to most of us. What she thinks is inappropriate is going to be different to most of us. What she thinks is some crazy conspiracy, most of us are going to go, yeah, that's fucking realistic, right? Something like the food pyramid being bullshit and telling people to mainly eat like refined carbohydrates. That's probably a conspiracy theory to her. But to us, we go, well, no, that's just that relies on flawed science and the scientists were paid off by the sugar industry, yada, yada, yada. So it depends who you are. And this is the problem with one person being in control of so much. Absolute power in this case corrupts our ability to speak and think freely. This lady is Big Brother. She's watching all of us. If she wants. I mean, all of us aren't really doing anything. There's no reason to, but once again, that's not the point. Let me put it this way. A lot of people will say, you can look at what I'm looking at. I don't care. I got nothing to hide. What if I pop my head in your house every night? Or just some random. They just pop their head in. I said, what are you up to? Tell me everything you've been doing tonight. You jerk off yet? You'd probably have an issue with that. Privacy is important. It makes us feel safe. And I think that this is an infraction on all of our privacies. My generation, your generation, all of us, we need to focus on enshrining some sort of protection for freedom of speech. Otherwise, this is just going to continue to be eroded daily. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video.
Before we go any further, I want to take this brief moment here to thank all of you, my patrons, that support my work here on YouTube, and especially my 5-tail Fox Tier member, Zalost, and my 3-tail Fox Tier members, Heath Rowell, Fenny Sylvy, and Radmuiel, for the incredible support to my work. Thank you very, very much. You guys or amazing. Also, thanks to everyone who donated to me through Tron and to all of my YouTube members. You can support this channel life and growth with just $5 a month and gain access to many perks. This is less than a burrito. Check out my Patreon, link is in the description below. It will, there is nothing actually we can do about it. I mean, I'm sorry. The least we can do is talk here. But up until when? Because even this, I think it's limited. I don't know up until when we will be able to do this stuff, to be honest. In my country, we are closer than ever to not be able to do so. But I wonder how much time I'll have left for you guys in US and many other countries out there. You know, this is coming for all of us. And I don't know actually if we have any chance at all standing against this, but at least we can try to alert people while we can. And I don't know what's next for real, like, I have no idea, like, for real. But I'm more pessimistic about it. I really think that we can just try to inform people, and these people that we inform, actually, they need to take care more, start to take more care about themselves and their lives and their loved ones, and that's all they can actually do. And like, you know, try to make their lives better, like without depending on all of this crap system somehow. And I know I need to talk more about this stuff. I will. I'm not talking about much about this stuff. I will think about something. This is all new to me, but I will try to come up with some ideas of actually something that we maybe can do. I don't know. I will try to come up with something like that. I'm not sure if I will. I'm not sure when, but it's on my plans, okay? It's on my plans. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, check the links below, Patreon, Discord, Tron, and qualify. Help this fox right here. I need to leave this country ASAP, because things here are always, every single day, more terrifying than the last day. So thank you very much for watching, and see you all in the next one. Bye!